If you want to use the Happy Brain app, you're going to watch this video carefully. First of all, let me tell you who am I and why I created this app. My name is Nick Halvins and I created 4 IT companies, serviced more than 20 million people, and even managed to get on the cover of the Forbes magazine in my country. I moved to Silicon Valley 3 years ago. But none of these achievements really made me happy. Actually, I coped with depression for 15 years, but I managed to overcome it. I felt like every achievement, everything I do only gives me a short-term pleasure, but the suffering follows. So I started digging into the reasons for my suffering, experimenting, changing my schedule every day, analyzing myself, learning how my brain works. I learned about such happiness chemicals as dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. I read a lot of research made by Stanford and Harvard professors. I finally managed to improve my life significantly, to finally stop feeling anxious all the time, stop overworking, working every weekend, like planning all the time. I can finally observe my life, feel pleasure from everything I do. I had to create an app that would work as a kind of extension for my mind. Extension for my brain to be able to analyze what happens to me better. So first of all, you gotta understand a very simple thing. This is not just an app. It's a method. It's a method how to live and analyze your daily routine so that you would be able to improve your life. So the app is just a technical solution that helps you to make this thing easier. But it's all about discipline and following some rules that I'm gonna tell you in this video. First of all, let's open the Happy Brain app. It allows you to add different moments. For instance, I was making a video now for you. Let's imagine I just finished this task. And so I added to this app, capturing a Happy Brain video. Then I have to select the mood. Well, I'm very happy about doing this. I was thinking of it for a long time. My mood is high. You can also see some icons here. So for instance, if I was doing this outside and having some sunbathing procedures, so I would press this button. But I was doing it in home, so I remove it. If I was listening to music while doing this, I would press this button as well, so it would add this emoji here in the title. So these emojis are very important here because the system analyzes all the content of every moment, and based on that, your impact on your mood, on your brain activity is calculated automatically. Well, you'll figure it out later. I think if I finish the video now, I would also press this emoji. So that means that I finished a task. I finished a task that was planned long ago, and it's in terms of our brain chemicals. It's very important. You feel great when you finish a task. You just feel great, and that's it. You feel it for a moment, then this moment goes away, but it's very important to mention everything that happens with you in your daily routine. If I played a game, I would press this button, but I did not play a game, so I'm removing it. If I was procrastinating in social media, I would press this button. So it's an icon of a phone here, but we don't need that. If I was discovering something new, I would press this magnifying glass. But I was not actually discovering anything new. If I ate a chocolate, I would press this button. If I was having fun and laughing at something, I would press the emoji of this laughing emoji. If I was doing something with my family or close friends, I would press this button. If I had hugs, well, hugs are, you know, some people say that you need like at least 8 hugs per day to feel better. There is an explanation for that. So when you hug with your friends or family, your level of happiness increases because you feel the strong bonds, and you feel this touches, and it makes you feel safe and loved. So it's important. If I was feeling loved and kissed, you know, so all these very important feelings with your loved one, so I would press this button. But I just captured a video, and so it engaged some kind of technical device, and so that's why I select the icon of a computer here, and this task is finished, so I press this green button. So it's 6:26. I still have the European time here, so it's 6:26 p.m. It's the time when I think that I finished the task, and I press Add. So the system automatically calculates the mood of this event for me, the importance. So the greener is the background here. Probably the happier you are after doing this task. Let me give you more examples of how we can use the app. I will actually show you a kind of daily routine. So before showing you the daily routine, I have to remove this task. So to remove the moment, or move it, like if you have several of them, so you have to long press the moment, and then you just press delete. Oh, the app crashed. Well, probably it's because I had only one task here. Yeah, it's because I have one task, and well, it's still in beta version. So if you notice any bugs like this one, be happy to report it to mind@happybrain.app. This is my email, and you're welcome to share your feedback. The app also has some advice here. For instance, now it tells me that it would be nice if I hugged a friend or a family member. So if I press this button, so as you can see, it automatically selects the icon of a family. I can also add the hug emoji here, and press Add. As you can see, this moment was as important for my happiness as capturing a happy brain video. It's not that evident. We actually think that the most important things in our life are like our work, but it's not like that for everyone. Actually, my wife thinks that the most important moments are family moments, and in reality, both moments are important. So imagine I just woke up, and the first thing I'm doing in the morning is opening the Happy Brain app and just adding that I was sleeping. I also note the mood in which I woke up. So I feel great today. So I press the best mood available here. So what it means now, it shows me at what time I woke up today, and that's it. It also shows me the mood of which resulted after me having dreams. So if I had a great night and nothing disturbed me, so this is gonna be green. But let's say if I was distracted. My dreams were distracted by something. Let's say I woke up twice in the middle of the night and thought about work, and because of that, I couldn't sleep well. So I select this emoji which says that I was not in a good mood when I woke up. And you can see now that this moment is in red zone. So it doesn't really matter now, but when I look later onto my whole schedule on my daily routine, I will start noticing what exactly resulted in this bad mood. So for instance, if on the previous day I had a lot of work and I went to bed 30 minutes after I stopped working, that will definitely impact my ability to sleep well, because my brain cannot relax as easy as if you took a break after working, walked around, watched a movie. So we all have to relax before going to bed. After that, the first thing I'm doing is I'm writing my dreams. So if I had dreams, I write them here. So for instance, I saw a dream when I was on a different planet. Some kind of military forces demanded me joining them and fighting the aliens. Okay, so if you have such a dream, you just write it down. It doesn't really matter at this stage why this happened. You just write it down. So you also note the mood you had after writing this dream. Maybe I think this dream is not really comfortable for me because so the military forces demanded me joining them and fighting aliens when I was on a different planet, but I would prefer discovering the planet instead. It took me 5 minutes to write it down, so that means I ended writing this moment at 9:05 a.m. Okay, As you can see, my mood improves. It was red, then it became orange. Then imagine I had a breakfast. So let's say, so I finished the breakfast at 10 a.m. and it were eggs. So as you can see, I just added an emoji of egg, just like emoji from the keyboard, and it automatically suggested other emojis here. So well, this is how the automatic suggestions work in this app, and they're actually based on your previous experience. So one of the breakfasts I have daily is so eggs with tomatoes and cucumber. Well, one of the other breakfasts I have is oatmeal with berries and mango. So as you can see, I start typing it, and it suggests the end of this. To finish this, to select this automatic suggestion, I should press the return button. Okay, so you can see now that it's black. If you want to make changes inside of this, you usually have to press in the notes area and then back. For some kind of reason, it's because of automatic suggestions. So I can, oh, it works well, but sometimes it doesn't work. But in case you can't easily put this cursor inside and make any changes there, so just press in the notes area and then back. So what does it mean here? I had oatmeal with berries and mango, and I was not alone at my breakfast. I had it with my wife, so I pressed the family emoji here. I can remove it if I was alone, and I can press it again. But it's very important to add this family emoji in case you were not alone. For instance, you had the breakfast with your close friends. Don't forget to add this emoji. Okay, as you can see, my mood significantly improved here. Usually after the breakfast, I drink coffee with a chocolate bar. And it takes me about 10 minutes. I add it here, and you can see that it somehow makes an impact on my mood. Okay, let's move on. Imagine I just finished my coffee and I want to read a book. This very nice chapter about myelin. How we learn from our childhood the typical behavioral patterns. I spent 30 minutes reading. Select the icon of reading here. Usually I prefer also calling these moments with the names of the books I read. It automatically suggests again, because I already had it in my history. I want to call it myelin. If you're one of these people who forgets the numbers of pages, you can also add the number of pages you've finished. It will help you to find it later in case you just miss it. So let's say it took me 30 minutes. At 10:40, I finished reading the book. I should also tell you that if you discovered something interesting while reading, don't forget to add this magnifying glass. As you can see, the color will be greener. After reading a book, I usually have some thoughts. Yeah, I can actually even find it. So we have a search feature here. So when I read this chapter about myelin, I had some notes. I typed Miel. The Happy Brain app shows me 2 moments from my past. One is from today, so the one I just added. So as you can see, it's 10:40, and it's today. The previous one, I don't know the date when I typed it here, but I finished it at 6 p.m. and I was reading the book outside. I really loved this moment. Let's see what I've got in my notes here. Myelin helps establishing very strong connections between neurons necessary to remember forever something very important for our survival, like fire is dangerous, sharp corners are painful, etc. High myelin amounts, we have them at before reaching the 7 years old age and at the puberty age. What we learn in these years, we remember forever. For instance, I learned that everyone can betray me, and alcohol or hard work are great distractors from your problems. Post-traumatic stress can be easily developed in these years and lead to severe depression. Probably my depression, full of anxiety and overworking, is a great example of that. I couldn't really enjoy my life when I was 14, 29 years old. Once upon a time, I tried psilocybin. I cannot recommend it to anyone, but in my notes, I described how I think it made an impact on my thoughts and my neural pathways. I believe that the mushrooms containing psilocybin promote neurogenesis in your brain, and it works like those myelins in your childhood. As a result, it can help you cope with depression, reshape your mind. But all these kind of experiences must be made with the help of a professional or a very experienced person, because when I tried these mushrooms first time in my life, it was so scary. Well, I will not show you the rest of the notes here because it's not about my notes here, but you can make your own notes and it will help you a lot. It will help you to explore yourself. Let's say it's about an hour after the breakfast. Why don't we do some exercises which are great for the health and for the body? I usually prefer spending 5-10 minutes here just to make the blood circulate, exercise my joints. I suggest everyone doing this, especially during long work hours, because our sedentary lifestyle impacts our spine and our joints. We lose our physical abilities if we want to live long, so we have to do regular physical exercises. I will show you several exercises you can all do at your home or in your office. And I do them regularly. Usually I go to my home gym 3 or 4 times a day and spend there like 10-15 minutes. Total it's about 1 hour a day. Not everyone can afford this, but at least 5-10 minutes a day is very important. So the first exercise is very simple. You just hold your legs straight and try to touch the ground. Make sure you make your lower back straight here, and also engage your glutes and your abs. And so you have to do this exercise 30 repetitions. As you can see, I can easily touch the ground, but several months ago I could barely touch this area. So it's a huge improvement for me, and it took only several minutes a day. Another exercise is very important, especially if you sit a lot, just doing the squats. You can do them like this. So just like 15 times like this. Make sure your knees don't go over toes. So, to make it harder, I use unstable surface. Make sure my back is straight, and I engage glutes and abs, so they must be engaged. Okay, the same thing. I make sure my knees don't go over my toes. Okay. Another one nice exercise is it's good for stretching. So I use a stick for that, and I stand. So my legs are straight, and there's 90 degrees, and all I want to do is push my chest down while holding this stick. If you don't have a stick, you can use any other surface. So for instance, like this one. So this is my kitchen, and it's high enough for me to make this 90-degree angle. So I prefer it here, actually. And so I do my best to push my chest down, and I feel all my back stretching, and it's a very great feeling. I do this exercise regularly, even I do it in the airport or in a plane. This is my life, and I want to stay happy and healthy. You gotta do this exercise for 40 seconds, not less. Because when you do any kind of stretching, it actually helps if you do it for more than 35 seconds. So 40 seconds is great. Okay. Let's move on. I'm gonna show you the exercise which works for both the glutes and the abs. It's a very easy one. Your legs and the knees 90 degrees here, and we just open the legs like this, and again 40 seconds. It's not a stretching exercise, but 40 seconds or a minute is great for you. Don't do like this, it won't help you. So make sure your spine is straight. And breathe. To make the exercise even more interesting, I usually turn on the music. So I have a speaker in my gym which is connected to Wi-Fi, and one of my Apple Music playlists. Well, another stretching exercise which is good for your shoulders and upper back. You just take any band, so hold it like this, make sure your arms are straight, and you just take it overhead, back and forth. If it's too easy, make it shorter. Don't make it too hard, otherwise you may damage your muscles. You can also do it like this. It's also very helpful. If you don't have a band, well, but you have a stick, so you can also use a stick for that. Just like this. Make sure your arms are straight. It's very important. Let's do, it is a very popular exercise now, and I strongly recommend it to everyone. So make sure your back is straight here, and your neck is straight, and work hard with your glutes and abs to hold the position for 1 minute. If you can't hold it for 1 minute, another exercise I like doing right after playing downward facing dog position from yoga. So your legs are straight, arms are straight, and you press down with your chest. It's quite similar to that exercise with 90 degrees where you push your chest down to stretch your upper back. This exercise is not just for stretching, it's also engaging some of the minor muscles you don't engage much in your daily life. Okay, so after doing all these exercises, I feel energized, I feel relaxed, I feel much better than I felt before doing them. I also listen to music. Now we have to add this moment to the Happy Brain app. The app adapted to the dark mode of my iPhone. It's very cool. Okay, so here is the exercise icon. You can use it. So I did some exercises, and I switched on the music while doing this. So it took me about 10 minutes. So I added to my daily routine. And as you can see, it's also green. It's actually greener than the coffee I had before that. So I showed you some examples of using the app, of adding moments of my daily routine. You may ask me, Nick, what the hell are you showing out there? It looks like a diary. Well, for sure, it looks like a diary, which also analyzes what you were doing, and it allows you to add the moments in a very easy way. So you don't have to write all the time when you started doing the activity, when you finished it. You don't have to write what exactly you were doing. So for instance, when you have exercises, so you just select the icon of exercises, and if you had listened to music, press the icon of the music, and it saves you a lot of time. It also works great for your notes. Well, you may say, like, why don't I use Apple Notes? Well, personally, I use Apple Notes a lot, and I use them a lot for making my personal notes. You can easily find everything in your Apple Notes, of course. But when you find information there, it doesn't show you the mood of the activity. It doesn't show you which kind of impact it had on your general happiness. All these tools, they work great, but I developed Happy Brain for myself to make it easier. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you understand now how to use the app and how it can improve your daily routine. Give me a promise, try to use the app and record every moment of your day, at least for 5 days. Promise yourself, and yourself is the most important person in your life. You will see how the app, how it can make you happier by just letting you observe your feelings and your state of mind for every moment you have. It will also let you change your life. So for instance, you see that there are some moments every day that are in the red zone. So what it means to you, it means that you have to change something. You have to avoid such kind of activity, improve them. So maybe you're doing something good for you, but you're not doing it right. So for instance, you're doing exercise, but you're overworking. You won't have a good mood. You will feel pain. And of course, you will feel miserable. So you have to change the way you do this activity. Or you do a lot of work and by the end of your business day, you feel miserable. You have to understand what is the core reason for that. Maybe you don't make breaks when you work. In case you have questions, you're welcome to add them in comments. Have a great day and have a happy life.